Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Monday morning with Business Coach Moloy. New day, new week, and we close on to 2022. I'm sure most of you have are looking forward to a interesting 2023, and uh, and you have had your fantastic journeys, your successes, and not so happy moments of life. But that's how life is meant to be. But as we plan to step into 2023, uh, we continue with our series on the life and business transformation. A big thank you to everyone who have been watching us regularly. A big thank you to people who have been consistently commenting on our posts. But as we continue with this journey on day 21, I would want to take you back towards day 20 when we had spoken about the emotional bank account, an emotional bank account being a metaphor that describes the amount of trust that was built up in a relationship. Continuing on the same subject further, today uh, I read something about a gentleman called Viktor Frankl over the weekend. And I want to share his story and his learning and how that has his teachings, in fact, and how that has impacted business. So today the theme is all about emotional intelligence. So Victor, who is Viktor Frankl? Viktor Franklin was an Australian neurologist, psychiatrist, a Holocaust survivor who devoted his life to studying and understanding and promoting the word meaning. In 1942, his life abruptly changed when he was deported to the Nazi concentration camp along with his family. And while struggling to survive in the Nazi camp, getting tortured every single day, getting to hear a lot of negativity around him, drawing from his observations and experiences during that period, he developed the theory of logotherapy, which claimed that through a search for meaning in life, individuals can endure and overcome suffering. And that's how he sustained his life in that Nazi concentration camp, where he kept on searching for the meaning of in life, which enabled him to put that entire stimuli of the suffering that he was getting onto the back burner. This, he said, is based on the premise that the man's underlying motivator in life is the will to meaning, even in the most difficult of circumstances. And later on in his famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, it tells the story of how he survived this Holocaust by finding personal meaning in that experience, which gave him the will to live through. And on the subject of emotional intelligence, which is the theme for today, Viktor Frankl made a statement. He said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, and that is to choose the attitude in any given circumstance. We can choose our attitude in any situation, and the emotional intelligence at work is about helping people identify the most useful attitude in a particular situation and then helping them maintain it. And the famous statement that he gave left behind for all of us to ponder is that between stimulus and action, there is space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies growth and freedom. Increasing the space between stimulus and response is an exercise of emotional intelligence, a concept that surfaced over 40 years after man's search for meaning was first established. Emotionally intelligent professionals practice increasing the space between stimulus and response so that their actions can align with their higher goals, purpose, and values, so that the teams can be successful and healthy. There are multiple models of emotional intelligence, but the model that I'm going to talk about is the Daniel Goldman model, which has four domains. And the four domains are self awareness, self management, social awareness, and relationship management. Now let's look closely at each one of them. What is self awareness? According to research uh, by an psychologist, Tasha Urich, 95% of people think that they're self aware, but in reality, only for 10 to 15% are actually. And that can pose problems for their employees. In order to bring the best in others, you first need to bring out the best in yourself, which is where self awareness comes into play. One very easy way of assessing your self awareness is by completing a 360-degree feedback in which you evaluate a performance and then match it up against the opinions of your boss, peers, direct reportees, subordinates, whoever. Because understanding from yourself, the self that we have been talking through this last 20 sessions, that understanding of the self is very, very critical. If you can't understand the self, you cannot move to the next domain, that is self management. Self management refers to the ability to manage your emotions, particularly in stressful situations. Leaders who act self management tend to react and have a harder time keeping their impulses in check. Our reactions, all of us, our reactions tend to be automatic. And in this fast moving world, in this fast paced world, when all of us, and I'm saying this with due humility, that all of us are living with a short fuse. Our reactions tend to be automatic. The more we are aligning it with our emotional intelligence, the more we are aligning it to our self awareness, the easier you can make the transition from reaction to response. It's important to remember to pause, breathe, collect yourself, and do whatever it takes to manage your emotions. Whether that means taking a walk, calling somebody that you're very close to before you respond to a stress or an adversity. We have seen during our workshops and during our training program, the moment you receive a stressful email, our propensity is to react to that email. And if you at that point in time react to that email, the language and the messaging could go absolutely wrong. But if you decide at that point in time that I will shut down the laptop, go and take a walk, have a cup of coffee, come back and react to that email, your mind would have stabilized. And once your mind has stabilized, the reaction to that email would be very different. The third domain, and that third domain can come in only you have partially or fully mastered the first two domains. It's social awareness. It is important to understand and manage your own emotions, but it's also important to know how to read a room. Social awareness describes your ability to recognize others' emotions and the dynamics that play within your organization. Leaders who excel in social awareness practice empathy. They try to understand their colleagues' feelings and perspective, which enables them to communicate and collaborate more effectively with your team members. By communicating with empathy, you can support your team, all while improving your individual performance. And finally, fourth domain, the relationship management, refers your ability to influence, coach, mentor others, and resolve conflict easily. Some prefer to avoid conflict, but it's important to properly address issues as they arise. Research shows that every unaddressed conflict can waste about 8 hours of company time in gossip and other unproductive activities, putting a drain on your resources. If you want to have a team that happy, you need to have those tough conversations. In a very recent survey by the Society of Human Resource Management, 72% of the employees rank respectful treatment of all employees at all levels as the top factor in job satisfaction. Why does emotional intelligence matter? Because leaders are setting the tone for their organization. If they lack the emotional intelligence, it could have far reaching consequences, resulting in lower employee engagement and a higher turnaround rate. While you may excel at your job technically, you can't effectively communicate with your team or collaborate with others. Those technical skills get overlooked. It's important for all of us to run these psychometric assessments to understand where different people are in not only emotional intelligence, but in other methodologies like the Jory windows or the mindset, because it will give everyone a mirror on their face and tell people where they are. As India's premier business coaching company, we are constantly working with business owners and their teams in trying to help the team with these psychometric assessments. So if you are interested in any of these psychometric assessments, or if you want to know more about these psychometric assessments, please do reach out to us. And somebody from our team members will send you more input on that. But emotional intelligence, ladies and gentlemen, is something that is paramount. You can overcome IQ, intelligence quotient, if you have high EQ. Thank you so much for watching. Till next Monday, same place, same time. With me, Business Coach Moloy. Have a great week, and I shall see you next Monday. Thank you so much.